Forgive me, I must mention MASH. You, of course, were B.J. Hunnicutt.
You're forgiven.
Well, it's a program that was loved over here and over your side of the pond as well. And it went for a number of years, for many, many years. And it must have been something that you enjoyed working on.
I loved every minute of it. I was lucky to be selected to be one of the members of the cast, and felt all those years to be nothing less than grateful for the time I had there. I made great personal relationships with the people with whom I worked, and I was very proud of the work we did and continue to be.
And it finished. Was it your decision or was it the network's decision?
No, we decided. Alan and I actually originally made the decision, and then we, as was our tradition, we sat down with the other members of the cast and talked it through and made the determination that it was time for the show to end, rather than allow some network executive at some point in the future to say, well, ho-hum, that's enough of that. We decided we wanted to go out with our heads held high, and that's what we did.
And the final program, when it was finally aired, it made the news, really, didn't it?
Yes, it did. In many respects, the size of the audience in one instance was measured in New York City by the flushing of toilets at the end of the show. The perceptible drop in the water pressure of the city.
And also, companies were spending millions to get ad spaces during the program as well.
Oh yes, that's right. And we had letters of congratulations from people who were probably gnashing their teeth at some of the political points we were making, but had to get on board because of the popularity of the show.
Did you have any say in the way that it finished?
When we made the determination to quit, what we told the network and the studio was that what we wanted was an episode that would end the war, allow us to say goodbye, complete the relationships of the characters, and allow us to say thank you to the audience. The networks, of course, were horrified at the idea because they feared that it would affect their syndication for the audience to see this thing come to an end. And I reminded them, that everybody knows the Korean War finally did come to an end. But they were not persuaded, so they allowed us to make the movie, what ended up being a 2.5-hour movie for television, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, that we were just talking about. But they've never attached it to the reruns of the series.
Oh, really?
Because they're somehow afraid that if the audience discerns that the show was that the war was over, that the audience will lose its interest. You'd think they'd know better by now. But.
Absolutely. And do you attend MASH reunions and that sort of thing?
No, not in the sense that I think your question intends. We have MASH reunions of our own.
Right.
We get together for dinner, and we just recently did a show at the request of 20th Century Fox's cable network. We did a show where we all got together and reminisced about the show and intercut the reminiscences with some pieces of episodes that to which we either were referring or which were illustrative of the things about which we were speaking.
And where were you when the final show was aired?
We all were together. We watched a screening of it on the same night that it was aired in the United States at a theater at 20th Century Fox, and then we went out to dinner.